What's having a healthy community in a relationship? So having a healthy community in a relationship means creating a supportive and nurturing environment where both partners can grow and thrive together. It involves open communication, mutual respect, trust, and understanding. It's about being there for each other, celebrating each other's success, and working through challenges as they come and as a team. Building a healthy community in your relationship takes effort and commitment, but it's definitely worth it. Hello.
What happened?
I don't know. Hello, and welcome to Heal My Marriage podcast. I'm your host, Tara,
And I'm Pedro.
and we are here back with another episode today.
Yes. Been a while.
Yes, it has.
This
and
has been a crazy year
It has been.
in terms of sickness and just not feeling well.
Right.
And oh my goodness, just everything.
Mm-hmm.
This time I got the sickest of everybody.
You did.
But I think I passed it on to everybody.
Yeah, mostly we all had a cough just recently, and we went away to see my mother-in-law, his mother, but our mother, I would say, in Scotland. We had a cough then, and when we came back, we were still kind of getting over the whole thing. But God is good.
Oh yeah, yeah. But then I came back. I had a cough, a cold.
Did you have
pink
fever?
eye?
Pink eye. Oh my gosh.
Pink eye. Well, it wasn't that bad because nobody else got it. So
Yeah.
even though it's highly contagious, nobody else got it.
Yeah, thank God.
Because we caught it right away. And you was like, I went for the cough or something. You was like,
you went to the pharmacy.
Shouldn't you get your eyes checked?
I was, yeah.
So I was telling the guy, I was like, well, the eyes are this, and he was like, dude, you have pink eye. And I was like, oh, yeah. So he gave me some medicine. I started taking that right away. So that helped. That we was proactive in getting it like really quick,
right,
and in time. But yeah, but we still dealing with a little bit of cough and a cold.
Yeah, I'm just glad you're feeling better than you was before, because poor thing, you was going through.
Whatever, I still do what I have to do. I went to church.
You did.
I went to work.
You did.
I did everything. I didn't stop.
You still pushing.
You always talking about something. You act like such a big baby.
I say sometimes men act more babyish, when they're sick.
No, I don't act babyish. I act mean.
Yeah, you do. You know what? I don't like when Pedro act like he be having a little attitude.
No, I don't have an attitude. I just have no patience.
You definitely don't have no patience.
I admit it. I don't have no patience. I'm like, don't go around the bush. Just tell. If I ask you a question, it's a yes or no answer.
Yeah,
I don't need an explanation because I'm not feeling well. I just want the explanation. I just want the yes or no. So I can go. Yes, I could go do what I got. I go lay down. Or go get some medicine. Yeah, when I'm sick, I'm definitely. I won't say mean. I'm just my patience is very thin.
Oh Lord, that just reminds me, Lord.
And then you get your feelings.
Lord, I'm asking you in advance. Well, as we grow and get older together, if Pedro gets sick, I hope he don't. But I'm just saying, if it was to happen,
no, I think that'd be different.
Hope he don't be mean.
No.
I'm putting him in a home.
No, I think that'd be different. I think that'd be different. A long-term illness, I think I would react differently to a short-term illness.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I really think I would react differently to short-term than I would to long-term.
Yeah.
I won't be mean long-term. I'm not those mean. It's just when I got a cold or a thing like that, I ask you a question. You like to explain it 4 different ways from Sunday. And I'm like, I don't need all those different ways. Just tell me yes or no.
Yeah, I be in my mood to be
and
like,
then you be in your feelings because you're not feeling well. So you're in your feelings.
Yeah.
You're like, why you being so mean to me? Why you being so mean
I
to
do
me?
be like that.
I ain't being mean to you. I just want you to answer the question, yes or no. That's not being mean.
Oh my gosh. So guys, please excuse us if we do a little cough here and there, because I'm still struggling a little bit, and hubby is too. But we pushing.
Why you have to hit me on my shoulder?
I don't know. I just did. I just felt like I need to do a pat.
Stop hitting me on my shoulder.
But anyway,
you trying to get back at me for all those times when you thought I was being mean to you.
Anyway. So yeah, I'm just happy that we're here to be able to do this episode today. So today we're going to be talking about put your marriage into a healthy community. And we all know that having a healthy community around us to help support us when we're going through our situations, when we just need a little advice, we just need somebody else perspective on what they may think, something that you don't mind sharing with someone. Not that you have to share everything, but something that you don't mind just saying, you know what, I need something. I need some advice about this situation. In between, you talk about it, and then you can go back to your spouse and then discuss, and then you guys can have y'all can have an overall conversation about getting the situation sorted or what you may be going through. What you think, honey?
Yeah, but then the problem arises that if you get in a situation where the community is not there,
right,
and you're struggling to find a community, then it becomes a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
Depending on your environment, your location,
Right.
time zone, things of that nature.
Yeah.
It can become a little bit difficult
Yeah.
to get that community up and going.
Yeah. Yeah. And that can be hard and stressful. Because you don't, sometimes you feel alone, like who can I talk to? And of course you pray and talk to God, and He does direct our paths. But sometimes I believe God also can put and use people in your life to help you through your situations as well. And, like my husband just said, just having that community, somebody that you can talk to, being in the right place, having the right time. And, it just takes time sometimes to build a community, especially if you're not around your family, around your friends that you used to. And it could be a hard thing. But so that's what we're going to talk about today.
Right. Before we do that, we're going to do two things. We're going to say to like, subscribe,
and
share.
That's right.
Also hit the notification button.
Yeah, on our YouTube channel.
You got to put that on the bottom of the screen coming up.
Yeah, which is right there already.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, you got to do the flashy one.
Oh, okay, the flashy one. Yeah, I would do that when I do the edit.
Because big people will see that. They're like, oh, let me.
Yeah. So please,
visual is always better.
That's
anyway,
true. That's true.
And then also
thank our Adventist Radio listeners that always tune in. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in every week, every Sunday at 4:00 on Adventist Radio London. And we also have our own personal platform on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the other audio platforms. All social platforms. So please go on there and follow and share and leave a review and let people know what you receive, how have it helped you, how have we, the message that God has given us, to be just vessels to be able to share with you guys and hopefully help someone in their marriage and relationship. And
even Facebook, even Twitter, or X as they call it.
Yeah, and people that are going into marriage. So please don't forget to do that on this side of the
platform.
There
you go. All right, and the next thing is to pray.
Yeah, we're going to pray.
Heavenly Father, as we have the discussion about healthy marriage into the community, we ask that you will guide our words and let us speak solely through you as you speak to us, actually, to help marriages that may be struggling or may be having a hard time at this moment. We ask that you continue to bless us all in our marriage, help us to thrive and to become stronger each and every day with the love and the grace that you have given for us to give to each other, that you want us to give to you. For this I pray in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. So we're going to jump right into this conversation. And before we go right into this conversation, my husband's going to get a definition on community.
All right. So with the community, it's pretty much, everybody kind of has an idea, but it's like a group of individuals who share common interests, values, goals, geographical location, and interact with one another. Is a unit that can be based on factors such as culture, religion, profession, or shared experiences. In the community, people come together to support, connect, and engage with one another, creating a sense of belonging and shared identity. That sounds like going to church.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
That's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the starting a community.
Yeah. So I had looked up a couple of questions and I said, what's having a healthy community in a relationship? So having a healthy community in a relationship means creating a supportive and nurturing environment where both partners can grow and thrive together. It involves open communication, mutual respect, trust, and understanding. It's about being there for each other, celebrating each other's success, and working through challenges as they come and as a team. Building a healthy community in your relationship takes effort and commitment, but it's definitely worth it.
Definitely.
You know, I would say for us, we don't have a community in our marriage. Not too much, really.
No, and I think, and just what I was saying, I think part of it is because you're from the South.
Yeah.
So all your family's over in the US.
Mhm.
And then there's a 6-hour time difference.
It is.
Part of it is my family's up north, or some of it's up north, and they're spread all over the US.
Right.
And then I just think that even in the church, our community is. We was just talking about this last night, actually, wasn't we?
We were.
I think the just being over here in Halifax makes it a little bit hard.
Yeah.
Because here in the UK, folks in the UK, like a 30-minute drive seems like forever for them.
Yeah.
So like when you're 30 minutes away, they're like, oh, that's so far. Where us, it's not far.
Yeah.
It's not far at all. To jump in the car and go 30 minutes is like down the block.
Yeah.
You know, but for the UK folks, it's like, oh, I just drove like 20 miles and I'm tired now. So I think we can build on our community better here.
Yeah.
I think we just need to be more. I think sometimes we become kind of what's the word?
Complacent.
No. When you kind of in withdraw.
Yeah. Okay. Withdrawn.
Yeah, we kind of withdrawn, not from people, but just like some days we don't want to get up and get that drive, even though I don't mind doing it. But then some days I'm like, man, I don't feel like driving 30 minutes.
Right.
Because of the way the route is through all the construction and all that. And it could turn into 45 minutes. So then I'm like, oh,
I think for us, it's just taking time for us to connect with people, building relationships with people, number one, getting to know people. And, not everybody going to be on your level and how you think and how you do things. And I think for us, it's just taking us time to get there.
Yeah. I think it's taking us time to learn how to talk British.
Right. And what to say. Because we have because we have American mentality, is we think differently. And
but it's not even, I think we just
it's a difference.
Because there's some British folks that think like that are very to the point and just speak what's on their mind.
But not as open as we are though.
No, there's some that are open. I've met some that are, but I've only met them for a short time, so I don't know if they really are completely open, like say we are. But even we, to a limit, have a shut off too.
Yeah, we do. We have a line.
We have a line that we won't cross.
I think some people's line is more closer than ours.
Oh no. I mean, our line is broad, but we do have a line where we will stop.
Yeah.
And say, okay, because we learned sometimes it's a little bit too much. It's too much.
Too much.
You
too
can
fast.
cross over the line. Yeah.
Too much too fast.
So we have learned to not cross that line.
Yeah. But I'm really hoping that, because I always pray and say, Lord, bring us the people in our lives that we need to help us through while we're here. And I really do believe he's going to do that. I think right now it's just like in a mode. It's just at a standstill for a moment.
Yeah, but I mean, you say that, and so like recently, I've been getting a phone call from a gentleman who's in London. So if he's listening, he'll know I'm talking about him.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say his name.
Yeah,
and he just been randomly calling me.
Oh,
and so that's start of a community.
Yeah,
and so like randomly, I need to call him back.
Yeah, I think we have to be proactive on both ends.
Right, it's proactive, and I'm bad at that. I'm bad at calling people back. I'm bad at calling people at all.
Yeah.
Even my own family members, I'm bad at that. So that's one way to start. Like, he'll just call me, be like, I was just he'll call to talk about Jordan. I'm like, dude, I don't even like Jordan. What are you calling me about Jordan for? But then we start talking about other stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I need to reach out and start calling back.
Yeah.
That's how you can start building a community, even though he's in London and I'm in Halifax.
Yeah.
Then we
personally I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That we have like I think the other thing about building a community is to also, for us, is to keep it within the marriage. community.
Well, yeah, definitely.
I'm just saying. We act like
Yeah, I was agreeing.
Anyway, like I said, like in the marriage community, because then we can both relate to each other on what we may be going through, and it doesn't even have to be you could just be talking about nothing, just saying hi,
right?
How you doing? How was your day? How was your week? Things like that. I think once we move from Halifax and we move to a different area, I was saying to you last night, I think it was we'll be able to build a better community. And the reason why I say that is because I think for us, when I thought about it, we've always built a community through our children.
In the sense of meeting people that married and got children and connecting
Well,
with
yeah,
them
because
that
when
way.
we was in Bermuda, our whole community, how did that all start? It
was going to church,
pre-K,
children, be involved.
not even just church. It was pre-K, BI, all the parents that was there. We all became one community.
Yeah, we did.
Through the children.
We
didn't know each other. We never would have met each other.
Yeah.
If we didn't go to the same school.
That's
we all went to the same school.
That's true.
And then we all was like, oh, and then we started doing things together. And then next thing you know, we was friends for life.
Yeah.
Because of them starting in pre-K.
Right.
Which is reception here. And BI.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, we have friends for life.
Yeah.
So it's like, sometimes I think even here, the children interacting with each other.
Right. It does connect the parents to the other parents.
Yeah,
especially if the other parents want to connect. Yeah. Because not all the time that happens. So,
and that's how you can start building your community. Yeah. So it does happen.
It does.
And that's why I was saying, like, if we're closer to, because like, I'm gonna be honest, like even with our church, there's a little bit of disconnect. But I think it's because we live in Halifax.
Yeah.
So we have to make more of an effort to be more
to connect with
them.
Yeah.
And so
I think it's there.
And our children will connect
with the other kids.
They already connect with other kids because they want to hang out together now. But we have to be like, okay, we have to get them here. We have to, but if it was in Huddersfield, then we'll be closer. I know that they would connect more, which they will make us connect more.
So that's something that, prayerfully
like on a Sunday, we may even go on a Sunday over to the house, or they come over. Like, even better yet, have them come over to our house, because I think asking somebody to come to our house, they're like, "Oh, that's too far."
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
No, seriously, they're like, "Oh, it's too far." But if we're in, like, if we say come to our house, we're in Huddersfield, they'd be more apt to come.
Yeah,
And I don't blame them, because I know in their mind, it's just in their mind, that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. I think it, and you know what? I really do believe it would happen when it's time. Everything happened in the time God wanted to. So I just think if we just keep pushing forward, keep working on ourselves, in our marriage, and because look, guys, we're not perfect. We working on ourselves every single day, asking God to help us.
Oh yeah, because you get on my nerves every single day.
I'm saying, we both get on each other's nerves.
I know, we both do. We both push each other's buttons.
We do, and I think sometimes
people see us on this podcast, they may think, "Oh, they so we love each other."
We do,
but some days, boy,
some days you just be like, you know what, the hand. You know what I'm saying? That's
I did that to you the other day, actually.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I was like,
yeah, you did. You did that to me. And I just looked at you and I rolled my eyes. I was like, whatever.
I was like, yo.
So I
get in your mood. I'm like, man, listen.
So I just one day it's going to happen for us, and our community is going to grow, and we're going to start seeing some changes on that side of things. So my next question I did look up, it said, what else should you look for? When looking for a healthy community in a relationship, it's important to also look for qualities like empathy, what it is, supportiveness. You want someone who listens to you, understands your wants and needs, and willing to work together and find solutions. It's also important to have shared values, interests, and goals to create a strong foundation. And of course, don't forget to have love and affection. So that's definitely important.
I think you missed one.
What?
Mutual respect.
Well, I think I did say.
You did? I didn't hear it.
I did say something like that.
You said so much, I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Well, just in case somebody
you know
else
what? That's just proves that you don't listen to me. But I was just more saying.
I was reading something else too. I ain't gonna lie.
Reading something else too, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as we talk about community, it is important to, as we going into trying to build that, is when we coming across people that we trying to connect with, we need to look for those things, because not everybody likes to share certain things.
Yeah.
In the sense of personal things they may not want to share.
And I think that's the issue that we have, is that I think we have to learn when the right time to share and not to share.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I meant to say compromise. Someone that'll compromise with you. Go ahead.
For us, we share, sometimes we can share too quick. Like you always tell me, like my mother would tell me too. She's like, Pedro, really?
Yeah, Pedro throw it in the fire quick. And I'm like, Pedro, like, no.
My mom be like, Pedro, you didn't have to go like that so fast. Like, especially with meeting some friends of her.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my goodness. You know?
I think, at the end of the day, it's a time and place. It's a time and place for things. We have to know that. Because going too fast with certain people, we have to take things in steps.
Oh, we've learned that.
We have to take things in steps, and we have to do one thing at a time, talk, just have a conversation to see where they at, see where they mindset at. And then you can kind of see how far you can go, how much you can say, because not everything you can say, boom, right then. Because then you probably put a shock to their system where they're like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, okay, I'm not to that point yet to share that with you. So you may share something personal and they not ready. They not even on that same level. So you got to be careful where you put your information and, how much you want to put out there. Sometimes, depending on the person, they'll show empathy right away, and supportiveness, and they'll be willing to share. I think it just depends on the person.
Yeah. And that's why I was saying I think I have to get a filter on my mouth where I can learn to be more, like, read the room. Sometimes I have a habit of not reading the room.
Yeah. So you sit up and
because
I find you to be a very observant person.
Yeah, but I know. But sometimes I just, my brain just, my mouth just takes over.
It goes before you think.
Yeah, and then I just, and because I just start talking, and then next thing I know, I'm like, oh man, I shouldn't have.
But the first couple of things that I will say that a normal person will probably ask is, what do you do? What you like to do? How many kids you have, or if you have kids, those type of things you need to establish in the beginning to kind of see what type of what direction you're going to go in with it.
Yeah.
Because most times, if they have kids, then that's a mutual connection right there, because you both have kids,
same age,
yeah,
or close to age,
yeah. And if you have the same interest in the sense of maybe music, TV, whatever it may be, they may be able to connect right there. So it just depends on what direction it's going.
Yeah, because even as Seventh Adventists, we can have different, I won't say views, we have different, not even ideas, we have just different ways about us, because not every Adventist is different. Some Adventists are more strict than others, some are more laid back, not where they breaking the rules, but they're just not as stringent as some Adventists.
Yeah, but then you have to also, whether we can meet people that's non-Adventists, because we got people that listen to this.
Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about.
Okay. Sorry, guys, we got kids and they didn't realize we was on the podcast. My apology.
Yeah, she knew we was, but she forgot.
But go ahead.
But anyway, like we were saying, so I know non-Adventists, but I was just talking about the sense of, because like we was talking about in building a community, we can build a community in a non-Adventist relationship. I'm not saying we can't, but the idea of also of having a community is have like-minded, same people, like that. And I'm not immune to not having a non-Adventist friend. Right. Like we have non-Adventist friends. We have family members that are not Adventists, so
so same thing.
So it's same thing, right? But I was just talking more in the sense of, if we're building a community in our church with the church first, and then branching out, right? I was saying, like, in the sense of, like, just even as Adventists, it could be a little bit of a difference between the two couples, right? But as long as we're on as long as we have like the same path or the same thought process, right, or the same thinking, because that's how you build a community too. Is if you're, like you said, like, we communicate with each other, we have mutual respect. So like if we say something that may be a little off the cuff, right, they respect us enough to be like, they may not like it, but they won't be like, ew, you know, they'll
Right.
be like,
One thing I
like,
noticed, they may become very quiet.
yeah.
Yeah. So
But
depending
I
on,
would prefer if they was to say, hey, that made me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but
Because
they may not
I've
say
had
that either because they don't
yeah, I
want to be
know,
rude.
but I know it's not being rude because I don't know. See, sometimes I don't know. Like I had a situation where I was talking to a family member and I mentioned something about another family member, and they said, hey, I don't feel too comfortable with you doing that. Could you, you know, not do that anymore?
Right.
Okay, I didn't know that. I can, you know. So you see what I mean?
Mhm.
Because you don't know unless you're told.
Yeah.
Just because you go quiet, because this is the thing. If you're talking about multiple things and then you just get quiet and withdrawn, I now have to try to figure out what exactly did I say or do to make you go there.
Yeah, but then you can't then
No, I know that,
yeah.
but I'll prefer if they, even if they went withdrawn, be like, hey, that made me feel a little uncomfortable. What made you feel uncomfortable?
But what happens if they don't do that?
Then you're sitting there trying to figure out what you said.
What did I say? It's in some instances you can't, you know, it is what it is.
I'm not saying it's always going to be perfect and that it is going to work.
Right.
I'm saying is that you don't. I'm saying what I would prefer. Let me know so that I can say, okay, they don't like me saying that or they felt uncomfortable. Then I know.
Right.
Because, you know, there's an old G.I. Joe, you know, theme song, you know, knowing is half the battle.
Yeah.
You know when it's half the battle. If I know what makes you uncomfortable, then I won't. Because what if I keep doing it?
Well, yeah.
What if I keep doing or saying that phrase or whatever that's making you uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
I think it could just be your forwardness, the way, because you confident in yourself and you confident in what you say. So if you have a person like yourself that's that way and talking to people, some people know how to receive it and some people don't. You know what I mean? So it just, some people are very sensitive people, and how
some people are not.
Yeah, and how they receive information can be, you know what I'm saying, depends on them. Because, you know, some people are just not vulnerable in that way.
Some people don't want to hurt your feelings, so they don't say nothing.
So
they think if they say something to me, it's going to hurt my feelings, which it won't.
Which can then, you know, start a awkwardness between the two people, between you and the person. And until one day they decide to break down and be like, oh, you know, I thought you meant, you know, because some people take a long time to then process what you just said. You know what I'm saying? Some people take a long time. When they finally do, it's like, oh, wait, this is what he meant. You know, then they come back later and then you're able to just, you know, you're able to blow it
do
over.
what I do. Just go ask them.
Yeah.
Which I know is messed up, but
that's still forward.
I've done that. I've done it. I can see the facial expression.
And then I have to tell you, like, today, you need to ease back.
And I did it, but then I don't go right away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about a couple of years later.
Yeah.
I know I had a situation. I said something and I thought the person had a really funny face. And I went back a couple of years later. I was like, hey, when I said this, how did you feel?
Right.
And it was probably after we kind of opened up more with each other.
Yeah,
we got to know each other more.
Yeah.
And then I finally asked him, I said, hey, how did you? And he was like, I was fine. I was like, no, because your whole face, she was like, oh. And I don't even think he realized. So,
yeah.
You know, but I took it as he, you know, kind of, you know, maybe I thought more into it than he did. But either way, like I said, I don't know. I just can't help. I can't help myself. But I just want to know. I want to make sure when we're having a conversation that you're comfortable with the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because I know any conversation for me is not really going to be uncomfortable. But I've learned that over here in the UK, and even in the US, that sometimes the conversation can just be a little, you know,
too much
difficult. Yeah.
Too much for people.
It's not too much. It's just sometimes you know, it's just, you know, sensitive. You know, because not everybody reacts differently to different situations.
It's true.
You know?
It's true.
If we start talking about us in a negative way, some people don't like to hear that. Some people do like to hear that.
Yeah.
And then if you talk about us in a positive way, some people don't like to hear that. Some people do like to hear that.
Yeah.
You know, it goes both ways. I think
they take more positive than the testimony. But, you know, it depends, like I said.
So, like I said, we need to be more active. I know for us, we definitely need to be more active.
I would say so.
And to start, with the community and building a community, we definitely need to be more proactive. Because it's fostering an ongoing commitment, effort, willingness to go together. And I think we just need to be. I think also part of it too is, and that was you more than anything, especially because you grew up in the South,
right?
So when you came to Bermuda and you went to New York, and even when you came here, your first thought was always like, "What exactly do you want?" Like if people come ask us questions, that was weird though, because people come ask us questions. Oh, you just said they're trying to build a community. Where you from? How many kids you have? How long you been married? That.
All the
you
questions.
actually took it as, what do you really want? Yeah.
No. You know what? It was more when they was like, "Oh, can I help you with this?" Or "I'll watch a child." See, that took me off. It wasn't the fact that I'm asking me where I was from. It was the fact that when they went in, they got too comfortable, and especially in Bermuda when I first got there, it was like, "Oh, I'll watch him for a little bit." Or I'll watch your son for a little bit, because I only had one child at the time. Me and Pedro did together.
But what is Bermuda culture?
I know they like that. They more family oriented people, which I don't mind that. But I'm just saying, for me, going to a new country, which I didn't know anyone besides you, was like, and God. So just to walk into there, and they like,
son.
Yeah, and my son. And even though your sister was there, and she was very lovely and really nice woman, I just felt like she was comfortable right away, which is no problem. But for me, I take me time to then build. You just can't. What, you gonna watch my son? No, you're not gonna watch my son. No, I got it. So it was more like that.
But to be fair, it wasn't my sister that actually was.
Yeah, it was
my
her
sister's
friend.
best friend.
Yeah, and she was a sweet girl too.
She was
a sweet woman too.
And
it was just like,
because you forget that her mother took care of me.
Yes.
So in her mind,
it was just an automatic.
Her mind, it was just automatic. Oh, because what they're thinking is, because what you never realized was that they knew that you was uncomfortable.
Yes,
they knew that you was new to the island.
Yeah,
and that I was working. So in their mind, they was almost trying to help you. I say, look, we'll take the son for a couple of hours.
Right.
Go do something for yourself.
Yeah.
That was their thinking.
And in my mind, I was like, what am I supposed to do by myself in the country by myself? I need my
go
son
for a walk.
Me, No, but I don't. I'm in the country. I go walking. What if I get lost? I don't know my way around the area.
Where are you gonna get lost in Bermuda?
Well, I'm just saying, I can get lost in Bermuda.
East, wait. It's either east or west. If you stay on the main road, it's east and west. If you kept walking, you would have hit Dockyard.
Either way.
If you had walked the other way, you would have hit Southampton.
Yeah, so that's true. Either town.
No, town was too far to walk.
But I'm just saying,
you would have hit Southampton. You would have hit one or the other. You would have got lost.
But still, for me, that was in my mind. I'm like, I don't know my way around here. I just want to stay central. I want to stay right here, neutral. While I'm in the house.
You was like, I ain't letting nobody touch my kid.
Yeah, I did say that. I did say that. I was very.
You was like, heck no.
Yeah,
you didn't use that
word.
But
as time went on, I was able to connect, and the more they came over, the more they made themselves known and checking on me and stuff like that. That really meant a lot, because they'll call it. Because when you in a new place, you feel like an outsider, obviously. And you just want to feel that people are connecting with you or wanting to even get to know you. So calling you, sending you a message or a text or whatever, just to say, you want to go to town with me? I'm going to town if you want to go. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll ride down with you. Just, because for me, I have a hard time adjusting to new places and people, and just establishing those small things in the beginning, where it can be hard for me to open up and to just trust people. So, with them doing that did help me grow more in Bermuda and being more open to meeting new people. And as we did that, and we went to church for the first time, and they were so welcoming, and hi, how you doing? That really helped. So, it just took time to get, for me, Pedro different than I am. So he adjusts quickly more than I do. So,
I don't necessarily know if I adjust quickly.
I'm talking about in the sense of you just more willing to just think, and I'm not. I'm more quiet.
No, I'm willing to jump right in.
It's the same thing I just said. I know. Why you have to be in a whole different direction?
I got to be different than what you say.
You're doing too much. So anyway, as I was doing my research on this, I had another question that said trusting the friend to be confident in. So trusting your friend to be confident It means having faith in their abilities, judgment, and character. It's about feeling secure and knowing that they will support you, keep your secrets, and be there for you when you are with them. Trust is an essential foundation for any healthy community in a relationship. When you can trust your friend, it creates a safe space for open communication and vulnerability. It's like having a solid rock you can lean on. Trust is definitely something worth cultivating and nurturing in any relationship.
You know how I feel about that. And I do one thing. I'm not gonna say what I do, because then if I say it, people hear it, then they were like, oh, so
Yeah.
I
So
can't
don't
say
say
it.
that. Don't say that.
So I'm not gonna say it, but I have a way of
But, you know,
I have a way of filtering out my friends.
But I would say this to give a nugget to someone that may not know to do this. So I would suggest that you somehow talk to someone and just see where it goes or how it goes, or if they the type of people you can trust. Say something that you normally probably wouldn't say to them, and just see how trusting they can be with that information. And if they share it with people, then you can't hold still with them. And if they don't, then it's someone that you can talk to and then grow with. So it just depends. So that's a little nugget for you.
Yeah, that's a nice nugget.
So I think it's important to do that, because you don't know how people is. You don't know, some people only want to get to know you to know information.
But guess the funny
and
thing,
then
though,
share it with everyone.
But this is the funny thing, though. In all honesty, that's a good nugget. But in all honesty, for me, it doesn't matter. Because I tell people, I'll say something about you. Like, I'll say to people, my wife can be emotional sometimes. And they be like, oh, don't say that about your wife. And I'm like, I say that to my wife's face. I tell my wife, oh, you can be emotional. Like, I won't say something that nobody else. Everything I say, I will say to everybody. If that makes sense. I don't say to one person, oh, this is my thing, and then to the next person, oh, this is my next thing. Like, I know I probably couldn't really back some, but sometimes I can be a little bit too transparent.
Yeah.
And I can be a little bit too out there and just too forward and just too honest. I don't. So to be honest,
I think for you need to learn that you need to have steps for when you do that. So when you meeting people.
Yeah, probably so. Because I see
so
that.
You need to start low, okay? And then as time go on, maybe you can get right to the medium.
No, I think I'm there now.
Saying, I
don't go right into it anymore.
No, I'm just saying you can start low and get right to the medium, and then after the medium has been there for a while, then you can push it up to medium high. And then after you get from medium high, then you can push it up to high. Okay.
Super high.
And then super high. And then
super high.
You can kind of then you can kind of engage, and they know how you are, they know how you operate. They're like, oh, okay, Pedro. Then whatever you say to them will be like a chip on their shoulder. It won't even bother them.
No, that's my point about you were saying about, like telling somebody and see if they go tell somebody else.
Yeah.
My point is that even if I told somebody, they went to tell somebody else, that other person, I already knew that. That's
yeah.
They're gonna be like, I already knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, where did you? You're late. I've been through that. Like that's how, because that's how we was. Like when I met you, that's how I was with you.
Yeah, and I didn't mind it because I appreciate
anybody came and said anything to you, be like, oh, he already told me.
Well, you know what? Now dating someone and wanting to court them and some point marry them, it's important to share those things, because nobody want to be blindsided as they keep dating, and then at some point marry, and then now you finding out stuff that you should have told them from the beginning. So not doing it in that content is in that way is different.
No, we're talking about marriage community, so yeah.
But I'm saying, but I understand that. But I'm just saying, even when you're trying to build a community, we just said not too long ago that it depends on the people.
Yeah, but if you're gonna spend the rest of your life with this person, you should be able to tell them everything.
Well, then, yeah, that's what I just said. So yeah,
don't hold back.
I'm saying it's a difference between that, when you're dating someone, then versus getting to know someone as a friendship. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a difference in that sense.
I don't think you should do like I did, because I went right all in while we was just talking.
Yeah, I was like,
which could have kind of scared you away.
It did scare me away a lot of times.
Yeah,
I was like, yo,
you're
doing too much.
I think you can build up as you build up, like you said, as you get more and more in the relationship, then tell more, and then say, okay, look, I have something else to tell you. I have this to tell you. You can even say, look, I have stuff to tell you, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you stages in our relationship. See where this goes, and as we get strong in our relationship, then I'll tell you something else.
Yeah, you can see how much a person can take.
Yeah, you know, and kind of, and you don't have to say that. You can just gauge it on your own, do your own little thought process. But yeah, I kind of, when I met you, because but see, the difference was that I told you when I met you, I knew I was gonna marry you. So that's why I think, because my brain was saying I'm gonna marry you, I knew I needed to just,
your brain was wired like,
right. My brain was like, I need to just tell you everything, you know. So I think that's why I was like that, because I was like, I need to just tell you everything, because if I didn't tell you everything right then, I would have forgot something, and then it would have came up later, and then you'd be like, why are you trying to hide that? In my mind. So that's why I just told you everything, like, boom.
Yeah. Which is a good thing. So hey, it is what it is.
Yeah,
so nothing really caught me by surprise. But hey,
nobody could say nothing to you that I didn't tell you. But,
so we know that iron sharpens iron, right? So when we have friends who push us to our best, it helps us develop our skills, our character, and knowledge. It's like a friendly competition that motivates us to strive for greatness. So having friends who challenge us in a positive way can be incredibly beneficial for personal growth and development. So I love to have people around me that say, Tara, girl, no.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't do that. I don't have a problem with someone correcting me or saying, this is what you need to do. Or, I'm saying, maybe you should try this. I want someone around me that's going to tell me that and not be afraid to hurt my feelings and to just put me in check. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we lack here.
Because if they do,
because the culture here, the culture here is not going to do that here.
The people here, okay, I don't want to sound.
We're being honest. I can ask any British person, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, we don't like to hurt.
They hold back.
We don't like to hurt. We don't like to hurt their feelings.
They hold back their feelings.
They don't like to hurt their feelings.
They like to walk around the block a whole bunch of times. So I think it's important for you to. I don't mind that personally. I don't mind that you put me in check and be like, "Girl, no." This is the situation. And I'm like, oh, girl, thank you for that. Because I really needed that insight. You know what I'm saying? That's what I need, what I'm saying, in a friendship, in a community, is that people's not afraid to correct you. You know what I'm saying? When I can't have someone that's going to correct me and see me going through or see me having a situation and then they just refuse to speak up, how can I trust you? How can I trust a person that's not? No, it's supposed to be iron.
I understand that.
Iron,
I know. See, but then it goes to the culture. If you know that person
is that way,
then you have to adjust your thinking towards them.
But then, if they doing something right and you trying to correct them, how you supposed to then express that and help them?
You can express it to them.
But I'm saying,
but they get offended.
But if they don't know how to receive it,
but then they may not be able to receive, but you can still do it.
Yeah.
And then hopefully you have a conversation. They say, look, look, this is how I feel, and that's where conversation and communication is key. Because if you do that,
that's it.
And then they say, oh, but then hopefully if they're your friend, they say, hey, I didn't like that. And be like, well, look, I'm sorry, but it's just the way I want us to be honest with each other. So it's breaking that. It's breaking somewhere along the line. We have to break. Is a circle.
You have to break
you have to break the circle. You have to break, instead of going around in a circle, you got to break it and go straight. So, you got to be at some point. So I would not, even though they may not, be where they can express themselves, or they can say something to you or tell you something, you still be yourself. And if they're your friend, then they will come to you and say, hey, I didn't like, what you said. I didn't like what you did.
Right. Okay.
So that way, then you can then have that conversation. And that's how you can almost kind of, not, I won't say train. You can kind of help them
Right.
To
Understand who
you
you
better.
are. Yeah.
Right. To understand you better. Right. You know, because like I said, the culture here is different than the culture in America.
Yeah.
Different than the culture in Bermuda.
Yeah.
It's a different.
It's a different
culture,
dynamic.
Yeah, it's a dynamic. It's a culture. It's a way of life. It's just the way it was brought up.
Yeah.
So, because we've had this conversation, I say, I think, babe, I just think that that they're not too. They don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, so they ain't trying to appease everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't. You can't appease everybody.
You can't please everybody.
You're always gonna have somebody mad with you.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, you could do 10 things right. You do one thing wrong, and all they remember is that one thing.
That's it.
I've learned that over the years.
That's it.
And that's why for me now, I don't care if I do one thing wrong. I just say, how can I fix that one thing?
Yeah.
Show me how to fix it.
One day at a time.
Let me move on.
One thing at a time. Yeah. Definitely.
But that's how you can build your community. You can't be thinking to yourself, well, they're not gonna tell me how they really feel, so how can I trust them?
Right.
You can almost try to help them to understand you.
Yeah.
And then maybe they will open up and learn to then trust. Because how they don't trust you?
Well, babe, thank you for that nugget. Yeah, I didn't think about it.
They may not know you.
Yeah.
They may not trust you.
That's true.
So show them that they can trust you.
Yeah.
And then maybe they'll open up.
Yeah.
And then
that's you know what? I'm gonna take that into consideration. And sometimes you don't. Until if Pedro would have never said that, I would have never thought that in my process of thinking. So
I've said it before, but you haven't heard me.
Yeah, I didn't hear you, but I hear you now.
That's a funny thing with this podcast.
I hear you.
You don't hear nothing I say until we talking through this mic.
Well, maybe because I have the earphones on and they're more close to my ear, so I'm able to hear you more.
Yeah, no, because you just ignore me. That's why.
Whatever.
That's a whole nother podcast right there. We could do a whole hour on that one.
So iron sharpens iron. I think it's really good for us to do that. Encourage each other. Try to be positive in the best way you know how, and not to be negative. Negativity and having a negative mindset never helps any relationship. So I think that's something that we need to really hang on to.
Yeah. And it goes both ways.
It does.
We got to iron each other and sharpen each other.
That's it.
So, with that
being said.
Wait, hold on. One more thing. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, we're going to just do so pretty much we was talking about everything. I just wanted to read this last sentence here.
Okay.
So overall, a community represents a social structure where individuals come together, collaborate, and engage with one another to create a sense of belonging, support, and shared purpose.
Right.
It is a fundamental aspect of human society that contributes to the well-being and development of its members. So there we go with the iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
We gotta help each other. We gotta give and take. We gotta compromise.
Yep.
We can't be automatically like you say, how can I trust if they can't think? Just be yourself. And over time, and the reason I said it is because I've seen that for a couple of males that I've dealt with that I just kept being myself.
Right.
And then they got comfortable with me, and then they start to open up more too. Right. They started to understand, oh, that's how Pedro is.
Yeah.
And they opened up more. So I think, that's where you help each other to grow.
That's it.
Just because we're in this country where it's a little bit different in the terms of feelings and the way people react with each other doesn't mean that I can still be myself, but then also conform a little bit to what they do here. Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. We need to be mindful of our locations and environment and where we are, and take that into consideration when we're dealing with people.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, we at this point of our show. It's our segment where we're going to be asking each other the questions in the intimacy box that we use. And with the intimacy box, we have different categories, and we have the past, random, relationship, life, intimacy, and about you. And me and Pedro take one of the cards, and we discuss whatever's on that card that it asks us to, and then he's gonna shuffle them up for us a little bit, and not too much because they different colorized thing.
Which one you want to do?
You pick.
Or keep talking while I
Life.
pick.
Let's do life. Since we talking about community. So we're gonna pick the life category section of the intimacy box, and we're going to pull and ask the card, and then we're gonna answer the question. And I think who went first last time? You or me?
Remember.
Oh,
Be
okay.
honest.
Whoever thing. I guess I can go first. No
Yeah,
problem.
women first.
Women first.
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
Mm-hmm.
So
wasn't that a song?
It may be.
Yeah.
I'm not
Ladies
particularly
first,
sure.
Lady first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a song.
So now I'm about to pick my card. Okay. Hold on, I got two. So I have my card in my hand, and Pedro gonna pick his card.
Okay.
Oh, Lord, I hate this card. Okay, so now we maybe we should pick another one card. Like relationship.
Let me see.
Because we talking about relationship community.
No, that's fine.
It don't have that. Okay, fine.
That does.
Okay.
Oh, because you talking about relationship and marriage?
Yeah, and community.
But that's
probably it could be the same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna start with me. So my card says, would you prefer we share a bank account or keep separate? Explain. So I'm asking you the question.
No, it's you.
Oh, would you prefer we share a bank account or keep it separate? In my opinion, I think we should have our own separate accounts. And I also think we should have a joint account where we put money in and we can both use those funds for something. But I think it's good for us to have our own separate things because we are one, because we're married, right? So I'm only stating that we should have our own separate accounts so we can, when you have the money that you receive and I have the money that I receive, and then whatever money we then want to take away from our own individual accounts, we could then add to our joint accounts, and then we are one in that section.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. But we do that though.
Yeah.
We
have start doing that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have multiple accounts.
Yeah.
Because when I moved here, I had different accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So for different things,
mm-hmm.
bills, trying to save money,
right,
things like that. So I have different accounts, but then we did up to a couple of years ago. We did get a joint account.
Yeah, we did.
And you have your own separate account.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
In which you have money in there that you didn't tell me about until you said something to me. And I was like, wait a minute, how much money you got? And you was like, oh, and I was like, oh, that'd been nice for you to tell me.
Oh, okay. I was going to tell you.
Nah, you wasn't going to tell me. But the thing about it is, I was
going to communicate.
But this is the thing, though. This is actually the thing, though. And this is God honest truth. And I told you this when you did. I said, I'm not mad that you have the money in there because I know you like to try to save.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll put 20 pounds here, 30 pounds there.
Yeah.
I had got some money the other day. He was like, that was supposed to be given to me, that was given to you.
Right.
I was like, just keep it. So yeah, put that money aside. So I mean, because I know how you are. So I was like, dude, you just hold on to it, keep it, whatever, use it for yourself. Because I want you to have a sense for yourself,
right,
of having money that where you pay the tithes and offering yourself, out the money and stuff. So it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. I mean, I think it's good. And then we have a joint where we have the joint is more for anything, just to put money into the kids' account.
Yeah.
So we use the joint account to do that, to put money into the kids' accounts. And we don't really use the joint account for anything else.
Yeah.
Because just the way it's all set up. But I don't mind. It doesn't bother me. I think it's good that you can have. Everybody works differently. I think each couple has to sit down and discuss. Like what you want. In our instance, I take care of all the bills. I take care when you want to buy stuff for your buttercream, which we're gonna do a little plug
for my body butter business.
For your body, yeah, exactly. I'll buy all the supplies, and then I'll tell you keep the profit.
Yeah.
Like if you sell some, I don't tell you, oh, put it back in.
Yeah,
I don't tell you that. I say just because I'm investing in you. So I don't mind buying the supplies. You just tell me what you need.
Right.
I do get sometimes like, dang, baby, we just bought this. I do get a little thing sometimes. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm like, did we just buy this? Well, you make it, you gotta, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll buy it again.
Right.
So I do sometimes, do push back a little bit. I ain't gonna lie and say I don't. I'm human. but in the sense of, but I still don't be like, well, you need to put 20 pounds. I can help pay for this. No, I just pay for it. And then because I know that you're
you're such a supportive king.
I just try to be the provider.
Yeah, you are.
And the thing is, like,
That's never been
and
an
I'm not saying this on the podcast because I'm trying to get kudos. I just want to be a provider.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you'll buy stuff for the kids, you'll buy stuff for yourself, which then helps me because then I don't have to go buy nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't, so it does help. It's either way. Either way, I'm paying for it. Either way.
Yeah.
If you gave me the money, I still got to use it to buy something for you.
Yeah.
So you might just let you keep it and then buy it for yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
So why? So that's why I'm like, why? So yeah, you having a separate account, I think it's been good.
Yeah.
Because it's giving you a sense of individuality in this marriage.
Yeah.
Which even though we are one, you still like to feel, wanted and useful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. What do your cards say? Yeah, yeah. I totally agree.
Do you feel like we work as a team on making decisions?
Yes. I feel like we work as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when it comes to different things, whether it's bills, deciding on what we're going to keep or what we're going to take away. And when it comes to the children, we always one on that, make a decision on if they're going to go somewhere or someone come over or whatever it may be with them, school. We always talk to each other first, and or if the kids come to us, I'm like, wait a minute, let me speak to your father. And your father be like, wait, let me speak to your mom. And then we talk about it and we make a decision on what was best for them and at that time. So I definitely think we come together and talk about things. Yeah, I think it's important that we do that. I don't try to do stuff behind your back and be like, oh, I just tell him later, or I just won't tell you at all. And then you be like, wait, why you never, not even considering what you may think or, if you even want to do that thing.
I think sometimes we do things, not behind each other's back, but we do things that, because it's something.
We do things thinking like, oh, he'll be all right with that idea.
No, right. That's what I'm saying.
Or she'll be okay with that idea.
I'm going to say, sometimes we do things of, oh, she'll be all right with that, or he'll be all right with that, which is fine. It's just knowing each other.
Yeah, knowing each other, yeah.
Right, because that rare occasion where you're like, I'm not really okay with that.
And you know what? It depends on what it is, too.
No, you know what it is? Sometimes, I ain't going to lie, sometimes, like, if it's getting close to payday, and it's about 3 days away, and you have 100 pounds, you go buy something. I'm like, babe, we could have used that to buy some groceries until I got paid. And we could have bought like that, But in terms of that, that's about the only way where it works sometimes against us. But then, because I know how you are, I always, kind of budget for that so that we don't fall into that situation. Because then I have the reason. Because then I can't. Not that I'll get mad. It's just like, dang, babe, you could have waited for that. You didn't have to get it. You could have waited 2 more days, And
be like, well, in my mind, I'm like,
you go to?
you know
your go to is?
It's 2 days, so it's two days.
No. Your go to is, it was on sale.
Whatever.
I'm like, everything's always on sale. It's like my job always tell me everything's urgent. After a while, that word becomes very, very mute. Everything can be urgent in life. But anyway, you always use that. Oh, it was on sale.
Sorry.
It was on sale. Whatever. Everything's always on sale.
Anyway,
even if it's a pound off, it's on sale. It was 14 pounds. I got it for 13. It's on sale.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I think the worst thing to do is not communicate anything.
We definitely communicate.
We have stepped up our communication in that area of our marriage.
I definitely have, because I did not communicate at first.
Pedro didn't know the word. You know what communication was.
I'll just pop up with it, or
Pedro, what is?
Or just come in the mail. You'd be like, "What is this?" Dell computer. Remember when I got the Dell computer?
Yeah.
I didn't say nothing. I just popped up with it. You was like, "Where you get this Dell computer?" So yeah, communication.
I think in the beginning of our marriage, you just thought that you were still.
By myself.
Yeah, you had the mentality of by myself. So I think that's what it was.
I think I'm selfish. I think I was like, well, I'm working, so therefore I can do what I want.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I think that's part of my thinking.
Yeah.
And I had to realize that I have to include you in everything decision wise. Even if the main one working, no matter, I still got to include you in the decision.
Yeah.
Because you're a part of me and we're a part of each other. So that's why. Yeah, but. Yeah, we definitely do have conversations, and we definitely will talk. And like you said, about, you know, what we need to do and what we don't need to do.
Yep.
And get that, you know,
Get that going.
So I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You got to keep, and marriage is always about communication.
Yeah.
Communication and transparency and honesty. Communication again.
All of that thing. Yeah.
And of course, God first.
Yeah.
Yes, always.
Yeah.
But,
so now that we at the end of our show, guys, thank you so much for, if you have made it this far to the end of our show, please subscribe, share, and like, and tell your friend, tell your neighbor about the podcast, and yeah, hopefully they'll get something from it.
Tell your enemy.
Tell your enemy too. So, and don't forget, you can contact us on our WhatsApp number, which is +44 7564 104096. I'm gonna say that again, +44 7564 104096.
You're supposed to put it up on there.
Yeah, but I did it. I said it, and I will do it through the edit, which I tell my husband, he never listens. So, so you can also email us at marriagecanhealpodcast@gmail.com. It's marriagecanhealpodcast@gmail.com. We use this email. We used to be the our name before we changed over to Heal My Marriage, and we just kept the email. So it's marriagecanhealpodcast@gmail.com, where you can reach us at. Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. And please come back again for another episode next week. And once it's listed on the Vince Radio London at 4:00 p.m. on Sundays.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for listening, guys.
Thank you all for joining us. My name is Pedro.
And my name is Tara. And this is Heal My Marriage Podcast.
Peace.
Thank you.